Z, why the switch? Why the switch? We know about the 50 Rand, and we know you love money, apparently, according to Nala.
You guys are going to say I love money once again. Okay, why the switch?
And we are back. Hello, where have you been? We've been here the entire time. Off the Bench, episode 2, with me, your host, the one who was always on the bench, Layla Arrison, and then Jazzy Majazz, because I'm going to make it stick. Sinalo, Jafta. Before we go, a huge congratulations to you with the announcement of the contract extension.
I knew you were going to bring this up.
And all of those things.
I knew you were going to bring this up.
On the picture and post-production. Now we want to do claps this time. I'm proud of you.
Oh, thank you so much. And you know what? We wouldn't be able to do this without our special guest today.
Whoa.
Whoa. Hello, honey.
Zintle Mpupha. Zintle, the Olympian Mpupha. ZZZ.
What do they usually have? OL?
Why?
Why there? Instagram
With the
handle.
Zintle Mpupha only.
Why? Zintle Mpupha, Springbok women's 7s and 15s player, and just all-round cool person. Welcome to the show. Welcome to Off the Bench. We actually love to have you here.
Thank you so much, Lays. Thank you, Sinalo. Not normally off the bench, but I'll take this one.
She knows
so good to be here.
You know when you
straight up starter. I don't know what it's like to be on the bench. That's where I want to be.
I've never been in my life.
I've been at the bench, on the bench, guys, quite a few times.
And she's been on the naughty chair too.
True. Apparently a red was shown.
Okay, it was yellow. Everyone knows it's yellow. And we just
Okay,
had
we'll discuss it. We'll
yes,
talk
please.
to
Thank you.
We'll
Thank
discuss
you.
it a little bit later on.
Yeah.
Do you want to kick us off? Because there's a way to kick the show off.
So I'd like to kick us off with a cheers. And I'm going to let you announce what we're cheersing to. Zintle,
so.
what is it?
The Rugby World Cup. Yes.
Okay,
Here we go.
so we're going to cheers.
Here we go. Let's cheers to the Women's Rugby World Cup 2025.
Eyes.
Important. Z, so the reason we cheers is because we want this to feel like you're home. You know, when you hang out with your friends and you cheers to whatever, and then you just start talking and chatting about life. That's kind of what it means. I mean, Jazzy, it's been a week. We haven't seen each other.
Also, Layla, where does this Jazzy jazz comes from? Like, I
had
know
to find
every
something.
single, like, ever since we shot the first one, it's like Jazzy this, Jazzy that, like, make it make sense.
That's what it is.
It sounds so cool, though.
There we go. It's going to stick.
I must have a whole alter ego for it, Jazzy.
I love it. I love it.
Sounds cool, though.
Okay, back to our guest.
Okay, Zintle, question from my side. If you had to swap a shirt with any athlete in the world, who would it be?
In the world?
Yeah.
Not just South Africa, just holistically.
You could go. Dream big.
Man, woman, up to you.
At this moment, I would say Haaland.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Oh, you Man City supporter.
Man City. I am
Wait,
Man
quick
City.
question. Did you
Don't
just
ask
start-
any other question. I am Man City
We don't
fan.
care where they are, what's happening at the moment.
Don't ask any other question.
No. I wanted
Please,
to ask.
I
Is it like
am-
a recent or through and
I've been
through
hanging
Man
out on her
City
Instagram
supporter?
stories, and sometimes I see her post about Man City. It's not very
Thanks.
recent.
Thanks, ladies.
But I thought you were going to go Patrick Mahomes, actually.
Actually,
There we go. You see?
you see, I forgot about him because they lost
That's
the
one, yeah.
flipping now.
Did you wake up at 4 o'clock? I did.
I did not.
No, you see, that's why
You
they
see,
lost.
that's why they lost.
Could be. But yeah, Patrick Mahomes. Sorry, Haaland. But
Okay.
Patrick
Okay,
Mahomes.
cool.
Kick out Haaland.
But Patrick is clutch, though.
Have to be. Okay, see? Eastern Cape born, Xesi. Talk to us about that journey. Talk to us. I want to know your childhood. I want to know your story. Because it is one of inspiration. And that's why we're here. We want to tell those stories of inspiration. Tell me about Z as a child, you're growing up, how you got here.
Okay. Z from a very small village called Middledrift, Xesi, in Jafta to be exact. I grew up with from a family that is playing a lot of sports, mostly cricket. And that's how the passion for sports started. And primary school, I still remember playing netball, doing athletics, running everything, doing beauty pageant too, guys.
Post-production
we please find that
Yeah,
picture?
we need a picture of the beauty
Luckily,
pageant.
there was no smartphones at that time, so no one has that evidence. But I know deep down I was beauty pageant.
We'll call the home.
Yeah. But yeah, started very, very small, I would say, and having to study that side as well, grade 1 and 2, and had to move totally away from the village, something new once again, to Mdanstane in year 8, where everything was totally different. Everything was just fast. And the schools as well, no one likes you, no one knows you. Everyone calls you names, and teachers are not as sweet as the other teachers that know you.
It's called character building.
That was the worst. That was the worst. And up until I found my feet, obviously, through sports once again. Joined athletics, and it was good. Joined netball and choir as well. And they started to actually get the likes of me because I'm doing everything, I guess.
Started becoming one of the popular kids.
Yeah, kind of. And that's where my whole life started, basically. Higher primary school, same thing. Even tried boxing.
Yeah.
Lasted one day. That one was not for me. But I can still defend myself on that one because they put me with a very experienced boxer because we are same age, same class, and same weight at that time. And she was so good.
Oh, wow.
She knocked me, and I was like, I am not coming back. This is not for me. I am so sorry.
Get knocked down 99 times, get up 100. See, when I'm getting knocked down once and I'm leaving.
Up as you ran. Definitely did not come back. And from boxing to scoring, to keeping score for cricket as well, going to every match with my brothers, and just keeping score, just loving the game of cricket as well. And when I saw the guys were playing the border women at that time, and I was just like to my daddy, listen, this is the team I'm going to play for one day. And we're just like, what? You can't even bowl. I'm like, you're going to see me there one day.
And that's I'm going to stop you on that story because that's where you come involved too. And that's where you get involved in the life.
Yeah, so that's how we met, actually, through cricket.
Through cricket, yeah.
I've taught Zintle a lot of times during my high school year, but I think one thing I've picked up, when you manifest, it comes true. Eh? I will play rugby, I will play cricket, and it just follows through.
Yeah, you would put it that way, Sinalo. And since then I never looked back, and I went to Baker's mini cricket, played with the boys, and now starting high school, at the time, I don't know if you remember Mr. Koko Godlo, who played a huge role in my career as well. You know how expensive cricket is actually. So he actually helped me throughout everything, and like getting me cricket boots to just look like the other kids that are actually trialing at the time. Under 19s, first time trialing, made it through, and seeing
So good, eh? Just so good.
Meeting Sinalo them, and just been cricket since up until grade 12, where I just saw a gist of rugby.
Okay, but I'm going to pause you there. So who was better? Who was better at cricket at that age? Was Zintle?
Zintle was gone. Zintle was
I
gone.
just wanted to bowl at that time. At the time,
You know the proper in-swinger?
Yeah.
Nah, she was gone, and then she came in at 5. 6. I came in at 5. And we always used to say, we're going to finish this game.
Yeah.
Every time. Like, proper. No, it was character building. We had Aya also in the team.
Yeah.
Annika, Louise Webb.
It was
a jam-packed team. Nah, it was...
full of stars. Yes.
Yeah.
They just make them better in the Eastern Cape.
Where they made.
Yeah, I think they just make them better. And you talk about Koko Godlo. Talk to us about the 50 Rand, because we know there's a story about the 50 Rand.
Wait,
what
one
is that
thing.
story?
So it is close. Utanda imali Zintle. You love money.
No, money loves me, guys. I love to put it that
Also
way.
manifestation.
Okay, carry on. 50 Rand.
Money loves me. But yeah, Mr. Koko Godlo convinced me to a rugby game, to actually play in a rugby game, because I didn't show up. And my stop when they had to pick me up for a game was like, nah, not coming. Not happening, not now. But he was like, okay, if you do play one game and if you do score a try, you're going to get to get a 50 rand.
It's great motivation.
Dang.
And she was quick. So she knew she was
50
going to get
rand.
the
I'm
try.
like, okay, let's just score tries and get 50. Obviously, they're not always like 50 rand for every try because obviously it's a lot of tries.
It is a lot of tries. Come on now.
It's gonna be a lot of 50 rands as well. But yeah, that's how I got the passion for the game as well. And thankfully to this day as well for having Mr. Godlo in my life. And I think I would have never gotten into rugby without him.
And you talk about your mom and your love for family, and I mean the amount of people that had to be in one house. Talk to us about your mom. Why, the role that she's played in your life and the support role she still plays still today. We all need someone to play for. We always need a bigger purpose to play for, and that was your mom.
Definitely. My mom was never really in the picture because obviously she had to go work. For me to have lunch at school and for me to be like other kids as well once again. And so her coming into sports was never something that was a regular thing for me and for her. But obviously she supported me in everything that I wanted to do. And she really always have said, nothing can stop me but myself, basically. So she would never stand in my way if I say I want to try this. Well, she tried to stand in front of for the rugby part. She tried by all means.
All parents, though.
Yeah, everyone.
Yeah.
You're gonna get hurt.
Yeah,
You're gonna
the whole story.
Yeah. But yeah, she never really stand in front of my way, and she'd always support me, but not always physically be there because she had to work at a lot of times. And when I moved to Mdanstane, I moved to my mother's sister and her husband, and with two of my cousins, and which I call my brothers as well, who played cricket so much. So I don't know how you guys know, if you guys know how the housing work in Mdanstane as well. It's just like a 4-room house, and the house was split like 2-2, obviously sharing the bathroom as well. So we had 2 rooms with my mom at the time, my mom and my dad and my 2 brothers, and the siblings of the dad. I don't know how to actually explain it. The siblings of my dad.
Your dad,
Other side.
yeah, on the other side, yeah.
Yes, it's like a long extended family, but it was like a mom, 2 kids, and a bigger sister as well, and it was just like a full house basically. So growing up, I never had my own bed, never had to coming home just chill out and chill on your bed or whatever. I never had that, and we also had a bed in the kitchen as well. So just to separate our brothers and myself from sleeping in the same bedroom as our parents at the time. And that was the situation, but it never, I wouldn't have had it any other way. I mean, if that's what life would have been for me, I wouldn't have changed it for anyone else or for anything else, if that makes sense. Yeah.
But there's just something good about community, hey?
Yeah, 100%. And I think what you've stated, Zintle, is like you wouldn't be where you at and the type of person that you are now if it wasn't for that. And like I'm always big on kids and how they growing up. If they coming with the same circumstances, they always be like, yo, but I don't have what that person has. What would be the message that you would potentially have for that young kid literally in the same position with the same opportunities now?
Yeah, you're gonna see it, you're gonna feel it. Sometimes you might not be as lucky as I was, even thanks to Mr. Koko as well, where you just like sitting in the corner and be like, flip, I don't even have the same thing that I have, that Sinalo has in that lunchbox, or that Sinalo has now Adidas. Flip, mine is Fila, if even a name of it. So to that kid, sometimes it's tough to actually run away from the fact that someone else has a better than I have. And we shy away and we get so caught up into that circle that we forget that we are for rugby trials, for cricket trials, for anything rather than the outcome of the outlook of the person at at that moment. So the message I always say is where you come from will never define where you want to go as a person, and will have an input, yes, but it does not identify, it does not show your future. It does not tell you that you're not going to succeed because you're coming from a poor background. It does not hinder that. It just is a drive for you to actually, dang, I want that for me. Dang, I want that. That means you're going to work even harder. That's even going to drive you to actually flip. I want to be like that one day, basically. It shouldn't just be a spectrum of like, flip, I don't have this, I'm not going to be able to do that. Just be able to do what you have to do with the little that you have, and I think you're going to grow more out of that as well.
And I think you're the prime example of that, because sport wasn't always, you wanted to become a policewoman. The sport was kind
I see it though.
I see it.
No, I don't.
I see it. It doesn't.
I'd be a mean policeman.
But it's because it's not talked about, right? I think coming up, during our times, being a sports person wasn't talked about. That was not what, when you went to school one day, it was, I want to be a doctor, a vet, a nurse, a policeman,
whatever it was.
I wanted all of these things, but only now, recently, we're starting to see kids say, "Oh, but I want to be a professional sports person." And you had that same journey. I watched Grey's Anatomy. I wanted to be a surgeon. Like,
until they see blood, and they're like, I don't want to.
Yeah, but that's your journey, and how much of a role do we now play in those kids' lives who want to be able to dream, to be big, to be an Olympian?
Yeah. Like it's huge role. Even when you're coming back, when I'm coming back at home, you see a lot of kids waiting for old rugby balls there.
Yeah.
Just they don't care even if it's like brand new balls, old balls. They're just waiting to receive a rugby ball and for us to play touch rugby or to get cricket equipment as well. Whenever they see your car, whenever they see, especially December when everyone is back at home, you'd always see each and every morning there's kids waiting for balls. Don't you have a shirt? Don't you have this and this and that? So it's just like a huge role that we are playing as athletes in this moment, because that's what we never had. We didn't have any girls to look up to, be like, listen, I want to be like that person one day. Yeah.
Tell me some of the tour stories between the two of you guys when you guys were playing cricket.
No, man.
Because we were there. I want to know.
We were good kids, but we also knew what time to be naughty. I remember, I think it was your matric year, because I'm a year behind you.
Yeah.
And we were leaving for Kimberley the next day, and we decided, why not? We're in East London. We don't come here often. I'm not from East London. Well, you were from Mdanstane, but you were never on that side
Obviously,
often.
yeah.
So, we never gave the coaches a lot. They never used to stress, because we always used to do it very hush-hush.
Yeah.
But when it came to playing, I knew for a fact that we were there to compete and to just be great. And I think Zintle, actually, she's selling herself short. She's an SA Schools cricketer.
Yeah.
But I'm quiet. I'm going to just drop the mic there. And
Come on.
She's too humble.
Come on now.
And, so that's the talent, for her. And a lot of people will always have, that dual cricket and rugby, or whether it be soccer.
Cricket and hockey.
I'm hockey,
Cricket and hockey.
Okay.
Cricket and hockey.
Cricket and hockey,
And, I used to watch, and I remember when Aya told me she's moving to rugby, I was like, no. I was so mad. I think we were all so mad, because we knew that we just lost a proper all-rounder in the making. And just to see her where she's at now, it's more for me, it's jeepers, okay, it makes sense, because she had to kind of set her tone or her voice at another sporting code and kind of bring, because cricket, as you said, growing up was a big thing, is Laline. But now you're adding rugby, so now kids coming to your car for a rugby ball, it's something, whereas way back there we wanted the cricket ball. So it's just impactfully as a whole, it's just going to grow Eastern Cape and Ilali and everything, yeah.
Z, why the switch? Why the switch? We know about the 50 Rand, and we know you love money, apparently, according to Nana.
But you guys are going to say I love money once again. Okay, why the switch? Rugby happened very quickly for me. I got to get the colors very quickly. Under 20s, what was it? 2011. Yeah, 2011. Under 20s. Got a paycheck for second for first time.
Yes.
That's why.
Yes. Yes.
That's why.
Yes.
For the first time in my life, I was like, this is so much money is just for me.
All those
At the
zeros.
time, can I? At the time, it was like 4K, guys, and it was a lot. For me.
4K
For me.
in 2011 was a lot of money, guys.
I was like, Xesi, must I tell my mom or not?
Did you?
I did, though. I did. But yeah, rugby just happened very quickly, and got to travel to England for the first time. It was England summer, where the sun goes down very...
England summer, 17 degrees.
No. England summers are annoying because if you leave your curtains open, it will be 9 o'clock at night. You will think that it's like 6.
Okay,
It
I
was
hear
like-
you.
It's amazing. Where are we, guys?
I don't understand. Is the world upside down? I don't understand.
But just add like a few more hours.
Okay, cool. I hear you.
Yeah.
No.
Different.
But then, it just, from there, I just was like rugby. And straight from that year, 2012, I got a call-up, sevens call-up. And PE, remember I'm juggling studies as well. And that's where I got offered a contract, obviously, to be a full-time Springbok sevens rugby player. I was like, I had to choose basically my studies and that. And already I was behind with my degree because I kept on going to camps and missing class, and obviously psychology wants you there and and they don't care of your sports or whatever, but yeah, it looked like
But they
didn't.
don't care.
Yeah.
They
didn't.
really don't.
They didn't care. They didn't care.
Yeah.
So I had to choose. Obviously, chose to finish my degree, and I still could play cricket at that time, and I still had a huge year, 2016, where I had a great IPL 15s and 7s, while still playing cricket as well at the time. And I obviously got a contract again 2017, where I had to completely choose now and weigh my options as well.
Yeah.
Got my degree. I don't want to work and sit in an office.
And you knew where you were going.
Yeah,
That 9 to
yeah.
5 wasn't for you.
No, 9 to 5 is definitely not for me. No. Which I'm doing now in rugby.
Yeah, that's literally you get that 7, you're done
You're
at
not
3.
sitting behind the desk.
Yeah,
There's like a difference
Definitely,
between the two.
you're running around getting
Yeah.
super tired. But anyway, that's when I had to choose between the two because I couldn't do both. I had to become a professional sevens rugby player, which it means you need to be full-time in Stellenbosch. And that's when I had to give up cricket. Give up cricket for rugby.
How do we get it to a point where, like, we don't have to choose?
Yeah.
You know, like, Nalo, like, I mean, we when in the first episode, we spoke about the different kind of tiers. You know, you guys are obviously at the top of that tier. You are catered for. You guys are, you know, that you're sorted. Springbok women are looking to get there, but it's still, you know, we're in the infancy of it. And then we looked at hockey and we said hockey isn't even in the picture. What do we have to do to get there? Like, because you're only gonna know. I'm asking you because you're there. You know, like, is that something you guys have thought about? Like how do we? Because we said this is what we want to do. We want to bring all these worlds together to lift each other to be at the same place. How do we lift each other to be at the same place?
I think with us, it was always like, I think our federation has done a fantastic job. I think before, not this World Cup, but the one previously, the one in Cape Town, we actually had sat down with the board and we had an open and honest conversation around like, how do we get us to actually just level it up a bit? And I mean, just from those little changes, you could see just the professionalism within domestic cricket. Like, I mean, I look at Bulls Daisies now and I'm like, cheapers. They're doing fantastic, but how do we get everyone to like kind of follow through? And I think it has to be up to the federation to be like, you know what, this is my goal for this team is to win a World Cup. And I mean, that's our goal as my team. Ooh.
No.
And I know for a fact we'll get there, but I think it's just fine-tuning certain things. I mean, we've been close twice. But I think once you've got the backing from the federation, everything is so simple. You wake up and you know, win the World Cup. I don't know if that makes sense. It's like everything is catered for. Like I don't have to worry besides just going to Wanderers and just training, going to the gym, running. I'm not worried about anything else. And I think it's just have those open, honest conversations as federations. Be like, are we really supporting our players?
Yeah. Because, and you come from Western Province too, like, if I just sit and I think about the unions, there's so much talk and so much praise and laud around, this is what we want to do, we want to professionalize XYZ, look what the Daisies are doing, XYZ. And to me, sometimes it feels like it's just noise. And I don't, like, I sit sometimes and I think, I'm like, how can I, in my position now, sitting here working at this incredible company, like, what can I do to make the noise louder so that people start listening? Because it's like sitting in traffic and everyone's hooting and there's so much noise and, you know, but we're still sitting in traffic. We're stuck there, you know? And I don't know, Z, like, what do we do? Because you're sitting in that professional environment at the moment, but we've got mates, we know people who are sitting at other unions. Like, has there been conversations around how can we make this better? Because if I'm being deadly honest, in my most sincerity, I feel that everyone's saying this is what we're gearing towards. We're gearing to make this 2025 the best year for the Springbok women. But at union level, like, it falls flat. And I don't know, like, are there conversations that you guys maybe as a union are having with the other unions around, you know, we've got to get everyone on par?
Well, I'm going to be honest. I don't know if the unions are chatting to Daisies and ask what's the secret behind all of this, and what can we do to actually get where you guys are at. I'm not going to lie. I don't know if there is a chats going on like that, but you can actually see a huge difference to a union that is waking up early, going to train each and every day, and have their structures and have their conditioning sessions as well, compared to a team that someone needs to go to work first, and if I got off early, I make it in time for training, and there's a huge gap, huge difference as well. And obviously, as a rugby has also put a huge pressure on a lot of unions as well, that you can't come into camp and work so hard and go home and come back worse or even the same, basically. So we had a lot of change according to that as well, because that was the case. People come to camp, go back home, you're the same or you're even worse, basically. So it's just like Sinalo said as well, like Saru just set a standard for us. Listen, if you leave this way, you're coming better, or you're not, or we were sending you home. And that happened. It was like,
that happens with us too.
Yeah, it happened. People were sent home. It was sad. Everyone was just like stunned about all of that. And you don't want to be the person that's sent home, basically. And you don't want to be the person that's not going to the World Cup because you just don't do the program that you actually get to do back at home. So I think we are going a right direction, Saru-wise, and I think that there's talks of Western Province getting to be under the Stormers as well. But yeah, hopefully it happens next year, like they always say.
It's always going to happen the next year.
Yeah, it's always happening the next year. So we're hoping and praying that it really comes to pass next year as well. We just see professional DHL Stormers women's team.
Because it makes the women's prem now, and that's our only competition we've got in the rugby space. Like, it's to me, it just feels like it's sucking the energy out of what is the women's Premier Division, because you know there's a team that's dominant and the team that's going to continually be dominant. So the conversations have to happen at higher places to say, this is going to become a Bulls Daisy show for the next X amount of years unless we get these other unions to buy in. And I don't understand how we can sit and have those conversations, but those are not conversations that are being that those things are being happened. I mean, you guys, it would have been something that you guys would have gone through too.
No, I think it's tough. Like, it can't only just come from federations. I think also as players, like we're very influential in how we want to play. A lot of times like us as a team, we've said, you know what, fitness comes first. If you're not fit, cheers, you're not going to play. But I think that has to be across the board and people actually buy in. Because once you buy into that, it's so much easier to just get the results after result after result. And also it creates a lot of competition because now you're going to be like, okay, you played the last game. Now you're like, am I even going to feature in the next? You want that. You want just that slight...
Makes you as an athlete hungry to continually want to be the best.
100%. Healthy competition. And I mean, I'm not saying now you look at Zintle and be like, I want that. No, I'm just going to try outwork her. And Zintle's saying the same thing. I'm going to outwork anyone that wants this jersey from me.
Yeah.
And if you get it, I know that you deserve it. It's not that thing of, this one doesn't like me.
Exactly.
I'm going to sit down. Yeah, and I think players, we all play a crucial role in the change that we want to see. We must first be the change.
Yeah.
And then everything kind of falls into place.
Because we saw it with Mamelodi Sundowns women's, they're completely dominant too, even in the soccer space, you know. So, I mean, we're just talking rugby because that's the space we know, but it is in other places, and I think this is why we've got the show, ladies and gentlemen, is so that people who are watching can hear these things and understand that this is what's going through or what's happening and how we can get better. I want to know, for us as women, have we gotten to a point where we've got a loud enough voice? Or do we think that we're just sitting by and idly sitting by and allowing things to happen?
I got a response to that.
Okay.
Action. You have to action it. You can talk as much as you want to talk. But if you're not, as a player, going to action it, it's never going to change. A lot of times we ask ourselves about our worth.
Yeah.
If you're not going to show me your worth, like let's say I'm an enterprise, I'm in a business. If I'm not going to see it, I'm not going to invest.
Okay, but now counter question to that, and see, maybe you can help, is the company and the enterprise is only going to invest if you show results, but how am I going to get the results if no one buys into me in the first place?
Tough chats need to happen.
The Bulls said, we want to see something happen. We're going to invest. There wasn't result. When I was at the Bulls, we were bottom of the log. Like, there was nothing happening. And so we, for 2 years, grafted. And eventually the company went, okay, let's bring them, make them a part of the company. And we're going to invest to be able to make them something. So, and it's the same with the Springbok women. Everyone's saying, we want results, but nobody's giving, you know, the ability for them to get the results. I mean, see, you guys have only now started getting more contracts than there was. I know there was a time where it stayed at like 19 or 17 contracts, and that's how it was for like 3 years. So I don't know.
Well, I don't know. And yes, but I think it's just like Sinalo said as well. Most companies are interested in, it's sad, but is interested in the results more than before, like investing into something. So basically you do good, you perform, and then that's where we're going to come in and put money into it. And that's when we're going to come and back you as well. So I think we're going in the right direction now. Like you said, the Springbok women as well, showing up to compete basically, and showing proper athleticism as well. I think that's what people were more interested in, like before, and now they're getting that, and they actually buying into the game as well.
Well, we've got a big thing coming up at the end of the year, the Women's Rugby World Cup. We've been drawn in a pool with Italy, with France, with Brazil. Pool D. I watched the draw. I was so excited. I don't know. I wish I had a live cam. Did you guys watch the draw live too when it was happening?
I was invited to Instagram.
It was live. Yeah,
did you watch it live?
I watched
it live.
Are you sure?
Rugby TV. I did.
Nice.
No, bro,
And it was actually interesting. My iGym after that showed up France flags all of a sudden. I'm like, what are the chances? Straight after watching
just watched this thing. It's a new coach, a new manager. Well, Bafana's come in, Sway's has come in. WXV went really, really well last year. I was part of that first WXV2 and I saw what had happened. WXV2 last year went much better. My question to you, though, has to be, there's new management that's come in, yes.
Yeah.
But you guys have, I felt, and like being so closely connected to the team, like that this is something that's been coming.
Yeah.
And now we're starting to see the fruits and the fruition thereof. Is that the feeling amongst you guys there too?
Definitely. Yeah. I think the previous coaches, the previous staff had a huge input on what the team is doing currently. And obviously they just didn't have much more time with the team to actually see the offspring as well. Attest to them, attest to everyone that had an input coaching the Springbok women's rugby team. And I think, like I said, they've been brilliant as well. And they've made proper athletes as well. And coming Coach Swayze and Coach Bafana as well, I would say almost like a finished product.
Yeah.
I don't think they would agree with me.
No, I agree with you because we watched from Rugby Africa Madagascar, because that's where I kind of feel like it started, was Madagascar. Like, you started seeing what the team could do, and then you watched WXV1 and there were moments of brilliance, and then we came back and we did another Rugby Africa and we did some outgoing tours, went to Spain, played the USA, and then. And you could see everyone was buying into this dream of 2025 Rugby World Cup is what we want, and that's our goal. And then, the new management comes in. And I think my frustration lies in, and I'll say this, I love the new management that's come in. I feel like the new management is taking over a finished product and now getting the praise. And it's the women that have had to go through all of this hard work, and that, I mean, guys, Madagascar is not an easy place to go to. You eat rice only because you don't know if you're eating chicken or beef. And so that bonds the team. And now I feel like you guys have done so well. Let's give the women the praise for what they had to go through to get here. But I feel like that's not there.
I don't know. What do you think, Zintle? Because I
actually have not thought of it that way, actually. Obviously, we don't get much praise, like Layla put it so nicely now. The ups and downs that we actually had to go through to be where we are, to actually gel as a team as well. I'd always thought, listen, this coach is brilliant, or that coach was brilliant. I never look into listen, look at the person sitting next to you, look at the person that you're playing next to as well. They have developed. They proper players as well. They stars basically at the game. It's always we never really look at ourselves and be like, I can do that. I can do this as well. I always look at the coach.
Yeah, what's the coach feeling?
What's the coach feeling? Of the team as well. So not enough praise.
Yeah, I think sometimes, especially us as players, we always want to make the coach happy.
Yeah,
and we always forget that. Yeah, the coach is there to guide us, but if we don't come together as a team, we'll never achieve it. And I think what you just said, I'm like, so many times I've had coaches, I was like, I want to make this coach happy.
Yeah.
Instead of just looking around, I'm like, okay, if we literally come together, we're actually gonna win this. And I think with the new coaches coming in, I think the girls are so assertive of,
because they know they've been through it. They've grinded it out with each other.
Yeah.
In Madagascar. Guys, don't think Madagascar is, I like to move it, and I go to the island and that's what it is. No, really isn't. You're stuck in a Chinatown in Madagascar and it's a really tough time.
I like to move. Yeah.
No, it's not. No, it's not.
Don't like to move it.
It's a post Springbok
leave. Is it like that one where as soon as you step in, you're like, okay, how many games do we have?
No, it is.
Yeah.
That's how I was commentating, and I went, I got to get out of here. I was like, nobody sold me, you guys sold me a dream.
No, but guess what? That's where character building.
It is character building.
Whatever situation you find yourself in, me.
No, it is character building. And you know what it is about the Malagasys? They show up for their women.
100%.
They had to pay for tickets to come watch the women's game, and that stadium was full. And I think that was the first time you guys were able to play in front of such a full stadium.
It felt like a final. I don't know what final, or it was like
It's
Paris.
preparing you for the
It's-
quarterfinal.
Manifest,
Thank you.
Lele.
I receive, ladies. I receive, ladies. But yeah, it was so good to see African people so passionate of women's rugby.
Yeah.
And yeah, I don't think we've ever felt that in South Africa. It was magical. It was great to see, and the love they have after the game as well. Everyone is just running.
Yeah, no,
onto
they
the
ran
field.
onto the field. It was chaos.
And yeah, photo, everything. We had to be summoned by our manager of the field
Yeah.
just to be safe. But it just showed the character of the people there and the love they show for their women as well. It was not even Madagascar playing final, but
No.
it was so
It
full.
was so cool.
Oh, that's good.
Do you guys, what is the chat with regards to World Cup now? Like, what is the, do you guys feel there's a chance?
You can't tell them secrets. They
No,
can't know.
I don't want to know the secrets. I want to know, is there a positive, when you guys saw that draw, were you relieved? Was there a sense of like, this is our year to shock the world?
Actually, I listened something on World Cup, on Instagram, and someone didn't say anything about our pool, and someone was like, "Pool D is actually interesting
It is
because
interesting.
who is actually going to come second there?" And obviously, they all looked that France is going to become first, but between us, Italy, and Brazil, who's actually going to come second?
I rate we're going to beat France.
I always love when people just underestimate that South
100%.
African hunger.
Come
No,
on.
Like, I
people
love it.
Don't get it.
Come on.
And the thing is, once you step over that line, all bets are off. You can, as a commentator, analyst, say what you want. When it's time to play, Baba,
Yeah.
there's that thing about that South African, I can't explain it, but like, and in England, you guaranteed South African supporters. For us, that's what drove us in Dubai. It's like, next thing you look, you're like, hey, man,
There's a flag.
there's a flag, and they were everywhere. And especially that semi against Australia, we kind of had more South Africans than Australians there, and I think that's what drove us. And I mean, all the people in England, guys, the girls need you.
Yeah.
That ignites a fire. I know firsthand. And the thing is, when you hear the anthem, when are you cry when it's anthems?
She
You know
does
that?
cry. But it's
know,
beautiful because
it's-
I cry up in the comps books.
The passion.
And my mom would ask me, "But why are you crying?" I'm sad. Girl, not sad, but it's unexplainable.
Do you guys
Yeah,
do you guys feel you guys have that chance? A, to top the pool, and if not to top the pool, to come out as second, to go make it to that quarters?
Definitely, we have a chance. It's all in our hands. Seeing how we played Italy, the last Women XV game we had, that was a tough battle, and they'd be lying to themselves if they thought it was a walk in the
Yeah.
park. They had to fight for it up until the last whistle, basically. So we do have a chance, and we're not going there holding this grudge of the Women XV that they won us.
No,
No,
but you
No,
won't.
no, but
Make
Lele.
it personal.
Don't make it personal, because then you take a tech when you make it personal. So the role, name.
Yeah, that is all gone. But I hope that they don't forget that moment. And with ourselves as all, we know that we can. We know that we can actually get it over the line. And Brazil, underrated team.
Yeah.
No footage
No.
of them.
No
and,
clue.
No
They
clue
have
what
no
they're
idea
going to
who
bring.
they are.
But once again, looking into ourselves, but what are we going to bring onto that day as well? With them knowing what we can bring as well, with them watching all of our games. And yeah, it's just about what are we going to do on that day? Are we going to pitch up on that day? And we are actually willing, and we have it in our hands.
You have 2 Six Nations teams in your pool.
Yeah.
So does that make this Six Nations coming up this weekend? Does that make it more spicy? Are we going to finally watch Women's Six Nations from beginning to end because we're actually sitting there analyzing for the rest of the day?
Watch. Me, I'll analyze for you,
Thank
and I'll
you.
send you messages too.
Are you guys going to air it first? We know always have to look.
That's
for
a great question.
links
Great question.
and-
Great question. Great question.
But yeah, it will be very much interesting, Six Nations, and seeing France and Italy play more. And to analyze them even more, basically, is going to be very good. And we're definitely going to be watching with a close eye. Luckily, IPL is also coming to an end.
Yeah.
And what do we have on calendar during that time? Just camps and Spain.
No. I'm playing Six Nations Fantasy League. I'm here. I'm like.
Are you that invested?
I'm invested. Well, I have to do it for work, but like, like I'm fully invested. I'm fully invested in this.
I think I should start doing this rugby thing.
Yeah.
Up there, so.
Closing thoughts, Sinalo.
Don't start with me. Closing thoughts. Oh, I just hope that you guys put in 100% effort into the goal. By the time you leave for the World Cup, all bets are off and you've ticked all the boxes. So all about the World Cup is to have fun.
Yeah.
Because if you put too much pressure at the World Cup, you're kind of going backwards. So put all the work in at home. So when you get to England, you know, man, I'm just here to have fun and play for my country.
I think as a collective, we're all really excited to see
I'm so excited.
what you guys are going to get up to. And hopefully the Bulls Daisies go for their 3-peat this year. You guys have an opportunity to be able to get the 3-peat.
Wait, before Zintle finishes us off.
Yeah.
Layla, any last thoughts?
For me, from my side, I'm thoroughly excited for the direction that we as women in rugby are going towards. I'm finally excited that we're starting to get the hype we deserve. I'm excited that someone like Zintle Mpupha is and becoming an inspiration for little girls, and that when they look up, that's someone that they want to become. I am excited that we're going to make a quarterfinal for the first time in Springbok women history. And I can't wait to be in the stands and lose my voice. And Z, thank you so much for coming onto the show and being on our second episode. We love hearing these stories. We love sharing these stories. And hopefully you'll come back for part 2.
Definitely. Thank you so much. I was so comfortable. I never been comfortable for interviews, but this one was very much comfortable. Thank you so much, guys, for having me. I'll definitely come back if I get a call to come back again.
Okay, we'll send you a WhatsApp. That is Off the Bench episode 1, 2. Episode 2, Zintle Mpupha. The Springbok women are going to make history in 2025. And there's a Cricket World Cup happening in 2025 too with some Jazzy Jazz that we're really excited. Like, subscribe, follow, do all of those things. And we can't wait to share more of these incredible stories with you.
Bye.